Hi guys, it's Tad and David from Kinetic Evolution. We're here today to talk a little bit about jumping, in particular landing mechanics for ACL prevention. So what we see all the time with athletes when they're jumping is a very vertical torso and a lot of movement through the knee. It's almost a knee dominant jumping pattern. And we're not using the hips and we're not using the hamstrings. And what the problem with that is that it robs your first step quickness and your first step explosion and your lateral quickness. So we don't want to practice jumping that way. We don't want to ingrain those patterns that could expose us to ACL injury. And this is how you start to improve your acceleration and change of direction. So we're going to show you a series of 3 really easy drills to start with, to start to really feel the proper landing mechanics, and then you can build it from there. Good guys, so the first drill we want to start with is focusing on mostly vertical forces in landing. Now, what we want to do is use a little plyo box, or you can use a step and use that to jump off of. And we like to go backwards first, because it's easier to feel sitting back into the hips, sitting back into the hamstrings than jumping forward. So it's just a good drill to start with, and then you can progress it to all types of forward or lateral or higher type challenges, okay? So with this drill, what David's going to do is, standing on one leg, just jump back off the box, land, and stick it. And when he sticks it, he wants to practice on getting that bowing feel, so he's using his hip and hamstring, and watch out for that very vertical motion where it's all through the knee. So we'll get David to do a few reps, show you the motion. Good, not bad. And you really want to feel back in the hip, push your butt back, get it back, feel getting into the hips and the hamstrings. Back, better, good. We need more stability and more control there, so that's more athleticism. Back in those hips. Reach back, good. Best one right there. One more time, reach back in those hips. Good, well done. So that's the first drill to practice. Good guys, so the second movement in the progression is just a little up-down challenge. So rather than just jumping down and sticking it, we're going to jump up, land, and then immediately jump down and stick it. So a little bit more motion, a little bit more challenge. You have to work through your hip 2 times on the up and then on the landing. So David will go ahead and demonstrate. Good, perfect. So that's a good example, right? Even on the landing of the first jump, we want to be working through the hip, not through the knee. So let's try even landing the first one, back in the hip. Back in the hip and down. Better. Good. Do that again. Both times. Up and down. Push back into your hip. Back. Back. Better. One more time. So he's developing a really good athletic feel of using those hips. Reach back. Reach back. Good. Well done. So that's the second drill, the second progression of getting the feel. Okay, guys. So the third progression now is an up-down drill where we do it continuously. So this requires a lot more control because there's a lot more stimulus, a lot more movement going on, and it'll really test both on the up and on the down if we're feeling using those hips and hamstrings to jump and land. So let's have David give it a go. So we'll go 3 in a row, up, down. Good. Back in those hips, back in those hips, back in those hips. Awesome. Really good. So I like that. What I'm going to do now is challenge him. I'm just going to have him do one more time. Same thing, up and down, but let's try to add a little bit more speed to it so that he has to be even better through his hips. So one more time, up and down, tiny bit faster. Go for it. Back to the hips, back to the hips. Good. Back to the hips, back to the hips. Back, back. Good. Not bad. Not bad at all. And now, again, he's really establishing and grooving a really good feel of both jumping and landing by bowing forward using those hips, hamstrings. Good guys, so there's a series of 3 simple progressions that'll give you a really good feel of landing mechanics and jump mechanics by getting the hip and the hamstring involved. That'll give you wonderful co-contraction, protect that knee, prevent ACL injury, and even better for you, improve your performance if you apply that to more complex drills and complex practices like sprint acceleration practice and lateral jumping. It'll help with that first step quickness that you're trying to improve and that lateral quickness, right, to create offensive or limit defensive space. So give it a try. Let us know if you have any comments or questions. Thanks for watching, guys.